So, how's it, guys? Welcome back to the Chat of Africa. And yeah, I just wanted to, or let me put it this way, this is what's going on at the moment. What's happening at the moment is we're just going for it. For a lot of time now, I've been in a sort of cocooning mode, sorting things out with family, looking after myself, learning how to look after myself better, learning how to look after those around me better, how to balance all that out. But I've got to the stage now where I know that I need to just go again for it, and that's what's going on. And I wanted to just start off with trying to just get things out, just to really do. Inspired again by Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V. He's one of my main influencers at the moment, it seems. But this whole idea that he gives of just give it a go, just keep going, try not to write too many lists, just get it done, do what you got to do, and just take it from there. So yeah, of course, in the past, what we did is I had a podcast about social media and marijuana and my journey with it. I'm going to make a new video that is subsequent to that, speaking to my journey about marijuana and the things that I've learned and how profound it actually is, my experience, maybe a bit of guidance for people that are scared of the journey, but yet sort of aren't aware of how helpful that journey can be. Not only obviously talking about smoking, but just talking about medicinal oral taking as well. And we'll do a video on that as well. We'll do a video that gets onto that topic, and as like a follow-up from there. And then all around is sort of like, posts with some motivational stuff, some of my thoughts, some creative things. Really just going and being like, okay, I've got all these ideas, I'm just gonna do them rather than try to overthink them and wait for the time to become perfect for me to do them. That is one of the key things that I've actually found, is that a lot of what's stopping me is my hesitation of it being imperfect. And I think I've given myself a kick up the ass. God's given me a kick up the ass, and he's just like, okay, now just do it. And I think what's important to understand here, what's important to know here, is that it didn't necessarily just happen. It took time for me to get to a place now where I feel like I can just move it. And I really believe that I'm going to do it consistently, and I'm going to get that system right. But it didn't just happen. It's taken time. It's taken internal searching. It's taken a lot of pain, a lot of having to move through all these limiting belief systems that I have about myself, all these weird ways that I thought I had to act in order to achieve what I want to achieve, a lot of anger and frustration, having to move through all of that. That's pretty much, that's been my biggest mountain, really, is myself, and I believe that is the case for everybody. And now that I've moved past this mountain, or at least I've come to a stage now from all this querying inside of me, wondering, okay, what the fuck, like, what am I doing? Now I've sort of got to these initial realizations and really sinking in deeper, the understanding that it's not actually about me. And yes, I know I'm a human being, I've got my shit and whatever the case is, and sometimes I don't feel like it or whatever, but at the end of the day, I had these realizations that, okay, fuck, it's actually not about me. Like, there's a much bigger purpose to unfold here. Yes, a lot of cool stuff's gonna happen because of it. I'm gonna grow as a human being. Fantastic, remarkable, love that. But at the end of the day, I think the thing that's going to keep pushing me is the fact that I know it's about more than just me. It's about more than just my ego and achieving my goals and realizing the dream that I actually felt I've been feeling inside of me for so long. It's also about like influencing and getting people to hear what I have to say, because I realize I actually want people to hear, and I actually care about people hearing, and I actually care about people. Not in the way that most people might think, I'm not fucking on the streets going everybody saying, hey, whatever, but I just care. I care for the evolution of humanity. I care for perspective. I care for those people who would be much like I was, and I am, obviously to a degree, that are searching and need some form of information, some form of something to relate to be like, okay, fuck, that guy actually makes sense, and I can actually relate to that right now, and it can be used as a tool for your journey wherever you are, in much the same way as so much content for me has helped me incrementally just figure out myself, seeing a piece of content and then being like, okay, fuck, that's actually relevant to me right now, and that's helped me, thank you. And realizing that, sure, I don't actually have to be so scared of social media, or not necessarily scared. I don't have, like, I project a lot, and I think because it's our most unconscious part, it's where we're just chilling and we're going, and the subconscious mind just has this opportunity to just whoop. We can project our most unconscious shit onto the platform and onto the people and onto the content that we see. I was one of those guys, / am to a degree, learning to unwind that, like noticing the unconscious like intensity or negativity that I project to a piece of content that I see, and I'm like, okay, why am I doing that? Like, I'm not fucking making content. I'm not fucking trying to do something. Who knows why that person's doing it? Maybe, you never know. And for those reasons, or because of that, I sort of had to kick myself back into gear and be like, okay, I can sit here and think that these people are doing it wrong and there's a better way to do it and whatever, but I have to fucking do it first. And the truth of the matter is that it has helped. And I do believe that I have a role to play in bringing people their little pieces of medicine for the day, if you will, to help them get perspective. And especially because I believe very strongly that I have a very unique perspective and a unique way to show it and to tell that story and to provide value to people, to be able to say, hey, like, it's okay, you can relate to this, I can relate to this, someone else has gone through it, someone else is going through it. And just like a general thing, just trying to be a good human being, I guess, at the end of the day. Understanding that I've got my devilishness in me, as we all do, and sort of making peace with that, and trying to work through it so that I can bring forward my best side as often as possible, and to do it in a way that's going to help people actually, and just realizing, okay, I've got a fucking purpose here. And thank God for the fact that I've come to that realization, that it's way greater than me, and that I don't have to pull myself back every time. And that's what I've done, is I've pulled myself back a lot, and mainly because I wasn't actually aware of these things, and now I've become aware of them, and I feel like there is no need to push myself through it. Having said, no need to hold myself back, sorry. Having said that, everyone's journey is different. I'm not saying it to say, okay, now you should do that, whatever. Life is a journey, bro, and it goes through so many different parts. There's the dark night of the soul. There's the fucking figuring your shit out. There's the young and wild and free kind of part where you're just, you're going after the ladies, you're going after the men, you're going after parties and all that, and it's all fine. There's no good and bad innately. It's just life, man, and we're all just learning. And given the context of where the fuck we are and what the fuck we're going through as humanity right now, that's some badass shit. That's some crazy ass shit, to try and be a human being in this context and figure out yourself, given everything that we've got. We are hyper stimulated. We are given thousands of different things to think about. You can support any fucking sport in the world right now, all the way from fucking hanging on a bar, UFC or martial arts where they kick each other but they're hanging from a bar, all the way to car jiu-jitsu, fucking table tennis, fucking all the way through obviously to the normal ones like football and all that stuff. And the same thing goes for everything else. Like, you can become a content creator, and then, okay, what does that mean? You can become an artist. What kind of artist are you going to be? Because there's so many different forms of art that are possible now and that have become mainstream now. Money, like, where do I invest? Crypto is fucking cooking. Like, how do I relate to money? How do I relate to all these different things? It is a bizarre situation that we're in. It's bizarre. We've got so many ideas that we have to move through and figure out, is this who we are? Like, how am I related to this thing that I'm involved in right now? Is this going to be with me for the rest of my life? All these different kind of questions that we have going on, and that are actually really tricky to figure out and difficult to figure out in this world. So it's very difficult to then put yourself in a position where you're like, can I judge? Like, how do I know? Like, sure, who can I actually judge per se? it's difficult. It's a difficult one. But you just think, like, damn, if I was born in that context, if I grew up with those parents, if I grew up without those parents, if I grew up in that community, if I grew up with that level of income, if I grew up with those opportunities, with that environment, how would I be, kind of thing. So one thing that gives me great empathy is knowing that, Jesus, it's a difficult, tricky time to be alive. And that's probably been the case for since whenever, but I'm only aware of this lifetime now, so I can only speak to now. And it is tricky, and I think some guidance and somebody out there who's just going to be like, listen, I got you, I understand it, and that has empathy, because I have empathy for all the experiences that human beings go through. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to say you should continue doing things, not necessarily. I've got empathy for it, but sometimes there is things that we have to then move past eventually, in order to just move to the next level, to grow, to evolve. That's part of why we're here, growing, evolving, growing. It's happening every day, otherwise the sun wouldn't come up. So yeah, it's a tricky one, and I hope that my content and this podcast and the shit that I put out there and whatever will help people just be able to relate and be like, oh shit, that guy's saying things that I've maybe not heard before, or that is just relevant for me right now. I appreciate that, and I know that's going to happen. I know people are going to relate, and for that reason, I'm going to keep doing it, and I know it's already fulfilling its purpose because of that. It's a remarkable thing. We're on a remarkable journey. I've got a lot to say, I think. No, I know I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to learn, and I'm keen to go on that journey with you guys, break down my barriers so I can just present myself as I am and just make myself vulnerable to you guys, and just put everything I am out there, ready for all of it, ready for the love, ready for the hate, ready for whatever, but I'm fucking ready for it. Even saying that makes me a little bit scared, but we're going to do it either way. The purpose is there, the intention is right, and we're going to do it either way. I'm wondering if I'm going to get haters or not. Fuck, I'm probably going to get haters, bro. Shit, I don't know, because I can be a little bit cheeky sometimes. Fuck, I'm very inspirational and deep and all that kind of stuff, but I've also got this side of me that's a bit cheeky and people might not like, but who cares? It is what it is. Everybody to their own, each to their own, including myself. So yeah, that's what it is. What a beautiful re-entry to the space. If you guys want to follow along, come on to Chat of Africa. And hold me accountable, I guess. I think I've got the holding accountability thing down with myself, because shit, I'm quite intense on myself. But yeah, we're going to keep going, we're going to keep things happening, and I just hope that it brings value, and I know it will bring value, even just to a few people, but I know it's going to go past that. It has to. Okay, anyway, much love. That's it for this one, and we'll check you guys on the other side. Peace.